suit smelling like sawdust. He's been grinding all day. North Pole shop lights buzzing, elves lined up in row. Safety goggles and coffee, watching that red beam glow. Sleigh bells and laser beams, Santa's burning up your dreams. From candy canes to steel keychains, he's etching every name it says. Sleigh bells and laser beams.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Santa's Laser Engraving. As you can see, we're in the office today instead of in the shop because I wanted to make up for a mistake that I made yesterday in the pop-up. So did a nice little pop-up and enjoyed the conversation I had with everybody, but I am one who goes back and watches and tries to learn from his mistakes and that kind of thing, and found out that part of what I thought I was sharing, I was actually sharing. So I thought I'd at least go back and do that. I know I've got the laser engraving part showing, but I didn't show the steps that I took and actually create the image that I ended up engraving. So I wanted to go back and do that just because, I feel like I kind of shorted some people when I did that. And I had a few people say, well, I couldn't see what you were doing. So thought we'd do that right quick. Won't take but a few minutes, but I'm hoping to show you what I did the other day. So let's start this first. We'll start here. Like I said, we use the chat GPT in order to actually create it, and use some verbiage that said basically create a laser engravable image that shows text that states Memorial Day arched across the top of a round top tombstone with straight sides and a flat bottom that measures 4.85 inches and 6.75 inches, showing the background a colonial soldier and a modern soldier looking in a World War II cemetery, National Cemetery. Below that text also state the cost of 250 years of freedom. And then at that time I said optimize the image for engraving on birch plywood on a CO2. So with that, what ended up coming up was this. So you can see that it's got all the information. It's got the rounded top and memorial and all that kind of stuff. And it came out fairly well. So a lot of times with AI, what you want to make sure is you want to make sure you're as descriptive as possible. So that was the beginning of this. So once I got that done, then the next thing we needed to do was actually take and bring it in to Lightburn, or not Lightburn, but the X tool, so that I could use it in my laser. And I had to make a few changes in it as well. So let me bring that up now. We'll go over here to this. And let me add it to the stage now. We're going to get this figured out sooner or later, and we'll make it full size here for this one. So in this, you can see, first thing you'll notice is this is really kind of dark. And so I wanted to do something to lighten that up a little bit. And so what I ended up doing is the first thing I would do is go in here, and I want to be able to cut these corners out of the actual border here so that I only have the actual outer edge of that black line. So I'll go into trace, and you'll notice in trace, it does like it's supposed to. It does everything. Well, I don't need everything. The only thing I need is this outer line. So I end up going into this fuzzy threshold, and I go all the way over. And you'll notice I went a little too far. There. So if you get over that to almost to the end, you get that one line, which is what I need for what I'm doing right now. So we're going to save that. And so now I can take this, I can take both of these, and I can mask that image. And if you notice, you can now see that those edges are gone. So that was the first thing I ended up doing. The second thing I ended up doing was I needed to adjust this, because what I found, I did try it on the CO2, but a couple of things. Like I said earlier, this is a dark image, and when you did it on CO2, because of the spot size of the CO2, the amount of detail that was in here, these grays, you couldn't hardly tell what they were. the soldiers on their backs and stuff like that, the detail was kind of really fuzzy. You couldn't tell exactly what was there. So switched over to the F2 that you see in the pop-up and did it with a diode, and it came out much better. But what I ended up doing was changing the sharpness to about 43, and then I changed the brightness over to about 23. Delete. And as you can see, that really changes the appearance of the tombstones themselves, along with the soldiers on the back that were in the actual engraving. And so when you engraved it, it came out fairly well. Like I said, you can see that in the pop-up if you want to go back and look at that. The only thing that I had a real issue with after I engraved it the first time was I engraved it actually 2 times on the video. The second time used a little bit more power, and the wood kind of showed through a little bit on the back of these, but you could work on it and get it a little bit better. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. And so ultimately I was pretty pleased with it. And like I said, when I looked back on my live, I was like, wow, I missed a lot. And so I apologize for that, but it's part of learning it. It's part of learning the StreamYard. It's part of learning how to do it live. The guys who do it all the time, they know how to change that stuff around. So I'm still learning, but I appreciate you watching this video, and I hope this video kind of helps you understand what I was doing, and also helps you in some way with anything that you do. So I will see you on the next one.
Order forms on the workbench, wish list stacked to the sky. He's engraving Merry Christmas on a stainless steel tie. Tiny boots on the pedals, elves yell one more run. They're cranking back for the night.